Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the Knothole Gang from atop the Making Friends parking structure, looking at the backside of Galaxy's Edge. And I think I had so much fun, for me anyway, doing the work that we did last week with the up close shots that I kind of decided to do a little bit more of that this week. So we may find ourselves doing more watching than listening today. Although you do get to listen to the sultry sounds of Disneyland. Here's some up close looks, for example, at the rock work underway at the extended queue. And I'm pretty sure this is as close as it's ever going to get for, just how, in terms of any kind of rock work, especially like the mesh work. We've seen a lot of mesh work from a distance on all, everywhere throughout the land. But look at this. This is how it's done. See how close? You got to wire all that stuff together and bend it and shape it into the form of a mountain, and then put that first layer on there. And then you can see there also, look at that, it's fascinating. Then there's a coat of just like mud. And then they let the mud dry a little bit, and then they can shape the mud to look like aged rock. Isn't that cool? Like, how many different layers and stages do these things go through? And now that's the rock we've been seeing them build or put together now for, I don't know, good two months now. And you can see all the blues in there. That's fascinating. And look at the buckets. Those buckets are actual. That's Galaxy's Edge buckets right there, man. Oh, that's so great. I love it. Okay, still trying to figure out what that is. It's very white for. I don't think that's actual steelwork. That's very white. I gotta wonder. Maybe that is like that white coat we see on a lot of rock work. One of the stages is that it looks very white. So that could be what that is. There you go. So that's the backside of the extended queue. Fascinating. So I guess I did jibber jabber my way through that section that night. But I was excited, you guys. I was excited to look and see how close that is. And you let my imagination. Oh, look at that. I filmed this very late in the day, so the crows were out. That is cool. That happens every single day at Disneyland, you guys. I've seen that so many times. It's like they all get together and they take off at night, and then wow. Meanwhile, I'm still filming. Those are just like blankets of mountain there. That's cool. I keep talking about one of these days. I want to see how that looks. What we're looking at there from the Mark Twain. I'm going to do a comparison, but today. Look at that one. That's fantastic. You want to know something interesting? Wow. Remember when that was nothing? Remember when that was just a single piece of steel going up? Fascinating. The Millennium Falcon spires are still being worked on, but the one that was nothing, maybe a year ago is now complete. They finished that one. I wonder how, what? That's another thing I'm going to have to do. I want to stage that peak, that spire right there in the middle. I want to stage that one and compare it to the Millennium Falcon spires, which are the ones to the right. Beautiful light, by the way. I really enjoyed shooting at this time of day. It gives a whole different, character to the, the colors and the shadows and the contrast. It's beautiful. There's those blankets again, or another blanket. Birds are still hanging around. Trying to find a place to land, I guess. I don't know. What are they doing? Any bird experts out there know why they do that? Why at dusk do they suddenly just escape whatever it is that they're doing and all fly around like that? And then we're going to wrap right here because I noticed that we could see right through. So again, what that is right there is that building we were looking at, I think it was last week or the week before, the hull of the crashed ship that's being used as Q for battle escape. I think that's my assumption because that's right about where it should be, right? Now, before we head over to the Rivers of America, I'm sure you guys have probably seen or heard of the new images that were released by Nearmap, the aerial images of Galaxy's Edge. And we've got one of those here. And I won't spend too much time on this one here because it may warrant, I don't know, a separate video if I'm into it. But one of the things people noticed, if we zoom in real fast, is that the Millennium Falcon that is going to be parked out in front of the attraction building, the show building, has begun construction. You can see the framework there. I only mention this because now this image is probably a little dated now, I guess. I'm guessing maybe a month old at least because a friend of Fresh Baked was kind enough to send us this image. And now that's a Millennium Falcon being built right now. This is just days old, as I understand it. Right, so we've got more than just the framework. They're starting to put the body on the Falcon, and one of the few things we can take away from this is you can get a sense of the scale. There's a construction worker down there on the ground who we can use as reference to find out how big that Falcon is compared to a human, and it is full size. It is I guess full scale, life size, whatever the word you want to use. That thing is big. That is a big Falcon. Parked right there in the front of the show building. Now, one thing that I'm kind of curious about, and I mentioned this in our video that we did on Fresh Baked Presents, is where how are they going to sell us on us entering the Falcon? There's a Falcon out there. It's not like there's two Falcons, right? There's only one Millennium Falcon. So if the Millennium Falcon is parked out front, how are they going to sell us on getting in it? Obviously, guests can't just, from the ground there, the outside, just walk into the Falcon and then you're in. Because there are going to be, 28 separate pods? At least that's what I'm hearing. So there's going to be 28 different, seating arrangements, etc. So we're going to go into that giant building behind it. Now, the guests are going to go in there, into that giant building. From where? They're going to walk around it? You're going to walk behind it and into that building, I guess, right? So that means that space that that buffers the Falcon, between the Falcon and the show building, is for guests to, or unless they come in from some other entrance, maybe off to the side. I don't know. It's a curious thing. I would really like to see this from the opposite side. That would be great. But this picture is just beautiful as is, and it's gotten me kind of pumped up. But I want to hear your thoughts. How do you guys think they're going to queue us up for this thing? The image that I have is us being shepherded throughout some queue inside that building. Maybe we go down, and then or something to that effect, and then they raise us up into, they create some illusion where it feels like we're being lifted up into the body of the Falcon as opposed to entering from the ramp that we so often see, actors do in the movies. But there you go. That is an exclusive photo, as far as I know, anyway. Nobody has this image except for Fresh Baked. So enjoy that here on the Knothole Gang. Take that, everybody else. I would give credit, but I was asked not to. So just thank you very much to the person who provided me this photo. It's very, very enjoyable. By the way, before we go, let's take a quick look at the top of the Millennium Falcon building. Do you see those domes? They're like half finished. That's kind of neat. We get to see sort of the backstage of how that's going to look at the top. Those domes are, semicircles or whatever, just, cropped off. And we could see some of that. That building right there, that dome, I'm pretty sure we could see that dome from Chippendales. I'll have to look out for that again. But anyway, there you go, guys. Enjoy that photo, and let me know your thoughts on the queue. Okay, Rivers of America and the Mark Twain. Bummer, it rained this day, so we couldn't go on the top deck. So the views are going to be a little less good than they usually are. So we're a little lower, and I couldn't see through anything or above anything really. But we're going to try.
I've been navigating these parts for years now, but I never get tired of taking in a breathtaking view of the Columbia.
That's my favorite rock right there, I think. Is it wrong that I have a favorite rock? By the way, I was watching a Jensen video, and those gaps that we were seeing over there where the blankets are will probably be filled in by additional rock work, but they can't do it yet because they can't do it until they finish another stage. But yeah, they'll close those in. And I don't suspect that they would do it with just trees because you could still see through that too. There would be too much of a risk of being able to see through those. So they definitely have to close those gaps, and they will close those gaps. So I'm trying my hardest to find anything to see through here. How about a train instead? Oh, it's one of my favorite things. Both looking at the river from the train and watching the train go by while on the river might be my favorite thing at Disneyland. This might be my favorite thing. And yes, half of my body is out of the Mark Twain right now. I'm surprised they don't yell at me. They yell at me for everything else. Okay, maybe that's my favorite spire, or my favorite rock. I'm torn. All right, let's head over to Chippendales, which we missed last week. And I want to stop right here because it took me a minute to realize that is new. At first, I thought what they were building there, was a spire, but no, they weren't building a spire. They were building another domed structure. This is about a month and a half ago, and there's nothing there really. And then this is 2 weeks ago, and that to me looked like they were on their way to building a spire. And then suddenly, instead of a spire, we got another domed structure. And we'll continue. I can see 9 of them right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, 7, 8. You can barely see one of them. And if we slide to the right, another one comes into frame. Let's get closer. Yeah, there it is. I wonder what that's going to be. Hey, where's that on the model? Stop. Collaborate and listen. Let's find that on the model. I'm going to take a guess that it's that bad boy right there. Because we are on the far side. I don't know, left, right, east, west, north. I don't even know what side we're on directionally, but we're at the very extreme end of Galaxy's Edge. And that is our extreme edge. So I'm going to have to assume. I mean, they look similar, you know, and part of the reason you could see that there is actual rock work being developed around that. So I mean, I was right that it is a spire of some kind, but then they just sort of plugged a dome structure on top of the spire. I wish you guys could see what I look like right now. One of these days, I'm going to ask Ian to take a picture of me or something. The current pose that I think it's even worse than on the Mark Twain. The current pose that I'm in right now to get this shot is pretty comical. Alright, and then as usual, we'll wind up with one more shot. What is that? Did I find something? I wish I could get more definition through those trees. I don't get a long enough look because the thing is moving and the trees start to block the view. So we'll get our last look at what we can see here from Mark Twain. Find that arch. Yeah, there's the arch. I'd still be curious to know what they're going to do in terms of filling that gap. That's a big ass gap. That's all I'm saying. That's a big gap. And it needs to be filled. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. That's it for this week from the Knothole Gang. We will see you next week, as always, as we have been doing for the last 2.5 years. Thanks for watching, guys. First, bye. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!